But yeah, value was like one of the big things coming in, like when we was creating the show and thinking of what's gonna be our message, what's gonna be our purpose. We was like at the top of the list, it was value. If we provide value each and every week, if we give you at least one new piece of information out of, let's say, 45 minutes, right? We're going to get majority of the people to at least tune in some weeks here and there, because what they know, damn, I just watched them. They brought up a lot of interesting points. They made me think about things in a different way. That's another point too. We want to challenge you to look at things differently, right? Think at things outside the box or differently than what's like the social norm. I think that's another thing. We kind of try to attack ideas differently and look at all perspectives too. We not biased. We do have bias, but we're not biased on the show.
Yep.
Right? We allow everybody to come in and express their points of view. We even try to play devil's advocate, even if it's not what we believe. We try to, but what if somebody could think about it this way? We never like too closed off to something. That was the biggest thing. And I think that just provide room to grow and learn once you never closed off to something.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I wanted to point out is a lot of people say, it's risky to come out with a podcast and talk about different perspectives or broad subjects, because a lot of times people say, hey, you need to just focus on one thing. I had everyone tell me you need to focus on one thing, but I like exploring out, hearing out different perspectives, talking about different things, learning from different people. So, and that's one thing that I got from you guys. That's what you guys do a lot. You guys don't say, oh, we're only going to interview these type of people and talk about this thing. No, you guys interview all different sorts of people. You guys talk about all different sorts of things. And another thing I wanted to bring up is, motivation. What motivated me to go out and start a podcast was actually hopping on the Freesauce podcast.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It was great just getting on there, being able to speak my mind, having that platform, seeing I had people come up to me at school saying, hey, I saw you on that podcast. Like, just that feeling that I got from that motivated me. So then I did some research. I spent some money. I got everything I needed. And then at that point, I needed discipline to actually get started, because yes, I was motivated, but actually being able to edit videos, look at the software, contact people, you know what I mean? It's not easy. It's not an easy thing. So we have discipline to be able to do what we do. And what disciplines me now is the vision that I have for the future. I can see this growing. I can see this getting bigger. I can see this making me financially stable, as in I wouldn't have to do something that I wouldn't want to do, because podcasting, talking to people, helping the people, this is what I really want to do in life. So having this platform to be able to do so disciplines me on a daily basis.
By the way, his episode is our number one view episode, like ever. It got 399 views right now. So if somebody want to be the 400, go ahead. But
check it out.
He do have the number one episode on our YouTube, the most viewed episode on our YouTube. So that's big ups to you. To like, I don't know, man. That's big ups, and it came. What, that was about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't have episodes out for 5, 6, 7 months. And they still not topping what you've been able to do in a month and a half. So that's big ups to you. But that just go to show we bring in value. Your episode must have brought some value to bring in 400 views. People must have liked some part of it. They must have seen the clip that was like, okay, let me go tune in. Let me go see what he said. If it was just for 2 minutes, somebody still wants to see what you had to say about something. So I want to give you credit on that for sure.
And on top of that too is the communication aspect. I feel like people are forgetting how to communicate. And I'm saying that as in, like, nowadays with like social media and stuff, it's like really easy to like close off. It's really easy to be like, man, fuck what's going on around the world. I'm gonna just stick in my little box. So I feel like just being able to make a platform like this to have that, not even essentially the tough conversations, just being able to have conversations with other people because I feel like that's all that this world is being able to connect with the next individual. If you're able to connect with the next individual, there's no way in hell you will fail at this life, because everybody else want to be heard, but you taking the time to hear them out, which means they're going to take the time to hear you out. And if you're doing that over and over and over, you're gonna stumble upon an opportunity that you can't turn down.
Yeah, that's something that like I really appreciate. That's what we've been able to accomplish. Like out of all the guests that we've had on the podcast, to this day we still have a good working relationship with all of them. Like if we see any of them on campus, any of them on quad, we can go up, shake their hand, have a conversation or something like that. You know, we've maintained that relationship with every guest we've had on the show. Some part of it because we've known them personally before, but also we've met strangers that we've been able to maintain relationships with, and I think that just goes into the like the friendship factor. You know, you want to come out friendly. You want to make sure you can maintain these relationships because we in college. You never know who these people gonna be in 10, 15, 20 years. You know, y'all might 20 years down the line, y'all might meet again on the business venture, and you might need them for something. They might be the biggest CEO in the world for a company, and you want to get a job there, or you want to get an interview if you still podcasting, something like that. You never know who they might know. You know, so it's just that friendship factor. We never want to burn bridges with anybody.
Yeah, definitely, and that also adds into the networking factor of it too, because everyone that you guys interview, you guys leave their contact information and everything, so all the viewers can contact that person and network. If let's say he's talking about drop shipping and you want to learn how to drop ship, then they can just go hit him up on the social media, boom, 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 and start connecting. You guys, everyone that you guys interview, those are connections that you guys are building, and you guys are also creating a rich connection, a rich networking connection within your community, within your listeners, because your listeners also have those same opportunities to learn from those people, hit them up, and possibly partner up with them. So I wanted to actually talk about the Freesauce podcast. I want to talk about how that journey has been for you guys.
You want to take a shot at it?
Yeah, I'll go first. It's been wonderful, man. I love it, man. We having a lot of fun. I learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about people, learned a lot about business, learned a lot about what it means to put in money into a business, what it means to have someone on the line, what it means like for something to be yours. That's the biggest thing, you know.
Full ownership.
Yeah. I think like you really get to feel what it's like to have ownership in something. Well, at least I have. I know he has too, but you know, it's just a lot of fun, man. We had we learned a lot, had some ups, had some downs, but I think right now we finna hit that exponential growth, man. I think that's where we at right now. You know, we look at an exponential graph, it started out very slow, but then once it hit that midway point, it's like that shit just take off and hit the roof. So I feel like that's who we are now. You know, I feel like we finna go on the summer break, probably take about 2 months off or whatever, work hard on some things, change some things up, get some new equipment, things like that, new scenery. I feel like after we come back in August, it's gonna be, it's gonna man.
Business is booming.
Business
is booming.
Man. I'm just excited as hell for everything that we got coming, man. I think in August it's gonna be great, man. We're gonna be going into our 4th year here at ISU, so that's another thing. We're not new here. You know, we got some connections already coming in. This is gonna be our 2nd year with the podcast. So it's like, I feel like, man, sky's the limit coming up in August. I just feel like we had a lot of fun though. That's been the biggest thing. It's just a lot of fun.
And to go off what he said too, is the learning aspect of it. Like every single episode that we've had with people, me personally, I've taken something out of it. I know Ricky has, because other than that, like you get so much information thrown at you, and like you don't want to take information at face value. You still want to fact check most of them. I end up doing that, but it's also the idea of like people being comfortable enough to share their knowledge with us. because it's not easy just being able to voice your opinion on certain situations or voice your opinion on certain stuff because you don't know how other people might perceive it. So I'm thankful for the guests for allowing us to actually explore their mind in a way, because you really get to, like he said, know an individual on like more than the surface level. Like you really learn an individual's like who they are, how they are motivated, what keeps them going. You start to learn a lot of, while you learn about the individual, you start to learn a lot about yourself. Because yeah, we asking these questions to the guests, but at the same time though, when we in the back of the head, you still answering that question to yourself. So that actually, like, I've come to enjoy that part of like the podcast. Like it's like you sitting there, they're telling you the answer, you like, whoa, like damn, I'm digging deep inside me.
And like to go along with that, it's like it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to find a balance into like how much do I share my answer.
So, yeah.
This is not your it's your podcast, but it's not your episode, so you don't want to kind of like overshadow the guest. But it's your podcast, so you also want to put out your input if you got an extra input on something. But I think that's something that's tough for me, is like how much to say on a certain thing, or how much do I put in my personal feelings, or damn, do I play devil's advocate right here? Do I
love playing devil's advocate.
Do I kind of speak for the people right here? You know, that's another thing that's fun. You know, just trying to figure out how to attack different arguments.
And the most interesting part about this whole thing so far is you might not even agree to this, but I have learned so much from you just from being in the episodes from like 1 to like however 50, 60, whatever number it is. Like it's just the fact that like first off, we started off the show like somewhat kind of shy, like really, really shy. And then that's like we progressed into a year and a half. I start to see you. Ricky on the show is really more outgoing. Like he shows a more outgoing like personality that most people don't. That might see him and be like, no, he's shy. But it's like you really start to see an individual for how comfortable they get in the space that they love. And I feel like that's what people don't realize. Like they might see us posting an episode every single day, looking really confident in what we are saying, but when we're starting out, boy, were we shy.
Yeah. That's why I really appreciate that time when we did just audio, because it gave us a chance to get confidence in our voice first. You know, you don't want to get on screen voice cracking and shaking and shit like that. You know, so it gave us a chance to get confident with how we sounded. First on the platform.
Yeah, I definitely get that. You grow with the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The show's growing, but yeah, you're growing too as a person. You're getting used to it. You're getting in the field. You're actually putting in the work, because I mean, speaking out to the public, video, audio, whatever, is not easy, but
at all.
After having years of experience down your belt, then I mean that's really what it is, because now you guys are, I mean, you're more prepared. You're only going to get better and better. You're only going to get smarter and smarter. You're only going to get better at communicating. So, I really like that, you brought that up, that you guys, like, grow with the show, because starting from the bottom, yeah, I was shy too. I was that kid that was quiet in middle high school. I had to go out and actually start talking to people, taking risks, saying jokes in class, embarrassing myself. That's really what got me out my comfort zone, was embarrassing myself and saying jokes. So, you know what I mean? That it's really just all a journey with this all.
Yeah, and also to go along like what the podcast has brought is the amount of networking I've seen. Like sometimes I might go to the career fair whenever the school hosts it, right? And I gotta present myself in a way where it's like I'm approachable to these people representing a company. So like having the conversations with them, like, so what you do on campus? Like, look, I might not be the typical student. I might not be the typical A+ student that you might be envisioned for your company. But look, I have a podcast down here, which I'm not scared to go talk to these faculty and staff members. I'm not scared to reach out to people. And then they start to look at me like, hold on, so you just a college student doing all this? Because at the end of the day, like, people don't realize, like, when you're doing these little things for yourself, you start to broaden the gap between you and other people. Like, you start to widen that gap. Like, you start to really, because with a podcast, you build a lot of like soft skills. You build a lot of communication skills. You build a lot of being able to express yourself. That's some type of skills that a lot of people don't have. Because this day and age with social media, most people don't know how to, like I said, don't know how to express their emotions, don't know how to communicate. But on these platforms, you are able to, one, have a conversation with anybody, express all types of opinions, express all types of conversations, and then two, also being able to like network, being like that's they say that in the business world, your network is your net worth. Being able to talk to anybody and just be able to grant yourself and lead yourself into opportunities that you didn't see or envision for yourself until later on. And this podcast make it so easy to stumble upon opportunities. Because when you do this, other people might reach out to you. Hey, bro, I want to come on your episode. Hey, bro, what you talked about last time, that was really, really good. Can you share more about it? Or do you know anybody else that can, help me gain more knowledge on this? And then you can direct them, if you don't have the resource, direct them into different places. And those people that you're directing them to are going to give you credit. Mm-hmm. And that's all that matters in this.
And oftentimes that's how we like get people is, they see a past episode, maybe somebody they know, and they like, damn, I fuck with that. When can I come on? When can I talk about something? And that's often how we get a lot of people on the show is they seen somebody they know or seen the previous episode, and it's like, damn, that was cool. I got something that I want to share, And I think that speaking of that's the After Dark show, that's something that we got coming up in August as well. We created that kind of because we get a lot of people that want to talk about things, but they don't necessarily have a business. They're not necessarily an influencer or an athlete or have something going on like that, but they do want to talk about a lot of interesting points and they do have interesting ideas. So that was kind of our purpose in creating that. Is like we give basically the average Joe a chance to come on and, talk about anything.
Yeah, I like that, definitely. And especially giving others a voice, a platform. When others see that, like, that's big to us. That's huge. That's, hey, I get to go there and I get to actually express myself and be heard by a bunch of different people. And that exposure is what a lot of people need, and that motivated me to get on and start getting some stuff done, get this podcast in order. So I wanted to ask you guys, what vision do you see for yourself in the next 5 years with this podcasting experience? It's just on the spot.
5 years from now. Damn.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
5 years, that's 2028, so I'll be 26, right?
I'll be 27.
Yeah, I'll be 26.
I'll be old as shit.
I think that for the podcast, that's a long time. I think by that time we known, on the level of a lot of the top podcasts today, Earn Leisure, $1 Million, Joe Budden, No Jumper, shit like that. Joe Rogan, even his level. I think that the sky's the limit right now. Like you said, it's just how far we want to push it. I think once we get out, that'll be 5 years. We'll be out of school for about 3-4 years at that point. So it's like we'll be back in the city. So I think that's gonna open up a lot of opportunity for us too. Because we're not stopping once we're done with
graduating. Yeah,
college. Just because we done with college, that don't mean we stopping the podcast. That just gonna allow us to put in even more money into the business, go even deeper. And being in the city is endless opportunity. Mm-hmm. Endless. Like, endless. City's big as fuck. Man.
Everybody know each other.
2 million people in Chicago, man. You tell me out of 2 million people, you can't find 50 people a year to talk about something that got something real good going on. I think that it's gonna really be positive back there. And who knows, we might get a chance to move around the country and even the world, doing this shit. So I think that 2028 is a good time for us.
It seems like a long way to go, but yeah, it's right like back though. Like 2028 is right here. Mm-hmm. Like it seems so far. And also going along with what Ricky was saying is the fact that like going back to Chicago, it's like really, really endless amount of opportunity. And also is that 5 years from now, I can see this podcast being more than just a podcast. I can see it being maybe damn near,
Movement.
like being able to make other businesses that correlate with the podcast, because I feel like this is the opening door. This is pretty much like it's the first door to many doors. So, and also with the podcast, it's just because like he said, we get a degree and graduate don't mean we gonna use our voice no more. Like pretty much like that's what has gotten us this far. Being able to communicate, being able to advocate, being able to, and also like getting a degree, will help funnel a lot of money into the business. Because at the end of the day, like we all know, your regular job ain't gonna cut it. At least not in the world that we are going into. We already know that. So being able to utilize this platform and utilize the amount of networking opportunities that we're gonna get along with this, we might as well take this as far as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. What'd you?
No, you go ahead.
All right. Yeah, definitely. With I really like that you said that this podcast is just an outlet for what you got going on in the future, because it's the same with me. This is just the outlet. This is just the initial message. This is the initial movement for the things that me and you guys got going on in the future. I'm also starting a Discord group called Motivated Minds. It's gonna be like a little networking group where me and a bunch of people that are focused on success or discipline. We're all in the same Discord, in a network, a community with us. So if that's something that interests you, hit me up on Instagram. I'll answer. So yeah, definitely. I really like that you said that, because this is just the start for the things that we're going to do in the future. And it's really up to the viewers on, do we like the message that these guys give out? And do we support these guys? Because all it takes is the viewers to get us in a way better position in life. Our viewers really determine the podcast success, whether they support the movement, whether they like and subscribe on your channels, whether they share your content. And if you really do, if you like the movement that me and these guys are on right here, me and Freesauce, then you guys need to support us. You guys are the ones that we depend on to keep doing what we're doing. You guys are our driving force day by day to keep us motivated on on what we're doing. And so I really just my bad. I want to see if the guests got anything else they would like to say before we head out on today's podcast.
Essentially, I just want to thank you for having us on here, because this has been a really pleasure. Because usually, when we have a podcast, we the ones controlling the show. Mm-hmm. So, but having somebody else control the show and being the backseat of it, it's like you driving the car and me the passengers. So we being in the backseat of it has been really insightful as to ways that we can improve our podcast, ways that we can go about what type of conversations that people want to hear. Because you just gave us more ideas into maybe people want to know ways to be disciplined in certain areas, maybe ways to be motivated in certain areas, how to motivate themselves, how to discipline themselves. So you giving us pretty much you giving us a lesson on what we can do to improve.
Yeah, just want to thank you for letting us come on, man. Big pleasure for everything, and I think, man, we just gonna keep on moving the bar forward, man. I would like what you got going on here. I think it's definitely gonna go somewhere and definitely gonna take off. Just from the type of human being you are, just gonna keep on moving forward, keep on progressing. And the same with us. That's how we're gonna keep on doing, man.
And I would like to make an open invite. Anytime, any place, anywhere, we are down to collab.
Yeah, anytime, any place, anywhere. Like I said, we anytime we do a podcast with anybody, that's a connection for life. So it's stuck.
All right, yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. It was a pleasure having you guys, hearing your different voices, perspectives, hearing something different on the subjects that I know a little bit about. It was great hearing this insight from you guys. I hope all the viewers got free game, free sauce from this podcast here today.
Sauce.
I'm gonna drop the link to their YouTube channel in the bio. So you guys should check that out. Like and subscribe on this video. And we're out.
Yep, we out.